I'm Tom Hunnicutt, sensei of the White Swan Karate Dojo, Matsumura Seito Karate Dojo. The katas that we'll be doing here on this tape are the first three basic katas, called Paisai Sho, Paisai Ni, and Paisai San. These three katas are very short in nature, but linked together. And they start the student of Matsumura Seito into their first venture of technique and linkage, and eventually into body mechanics and grappling. Even when you get into high techniques in the Matsumura system, you'll come back to these basic katas as far as stances go. And our very basic exercises, our fighting form, is essential to form good habits. And that's what these drills are all about. Can you fight in this slow format, which is fairly static? No. This is just the starting point. Eventually, the student must evolve out of them with more fluency, more speed, more accuracy, good techniques, knowledge of body mechanics, knowledge of mental control, reading his enemy, and many other things. This is basically the start. Some people need katas more than others. It is essential for people who have problems with their timing or coordination to work on these katas. If you ever noticed in karate tournaments, you'll see that a lot of people who come out first, second, and third place are high ranking in their katas are the very people you'll see over in the Komitai ring later. There's a reason for this. Now, I've heard it said that a lot of people can do katas, but cannot do good fighting techniques. This is true in some cases. Some people are natural good fighters. Some people are natural fighters. But there's a blending there if you look for it and work at it. And that's essential in developing good skills. I'm going to take you now to the blackboard and demonstrate a few things about these first three katas that will help you in achieving your goal in learning them and putting them together. And you'll see the linkage in them immediately. First, we'll start in the primary position we'll call ground zero. From it, you do your basic introduction stances as far as bowing, as far as introducing your kata, and starting your movements. From there, you'll move out in a straight line to one punch, or a kick, or a combination thereof. You notice in Paisai Sho, it was merely a punch step. Paisai Ni, you are now blocking, kicking. And Paisai San, you were stepping, punching, blocking, and kicking. And you went two steps. Same movements. Then you came to three. At three, you turned around, which we will go back into some of these techniques later on the turning techniques, blocking down, preparing to move from the same position, but turning around and going back the opposite way. Exactly one, two, and now three, which brings you back into this same position. At this point, what's created in your movement will be a move in this manner here, a move in this direction here, a move in this direction here, is number three, a move in this direction here. Finally, turning back around to your beginning position. All the katas have this familiar with a slight variation on Paisai San, which we'll go into in a few seconds. But here's what you've done. You're making an X to help you remember. It's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back. position. And then we're going to make an X. Beginning here, we'll turn. Here is number 2. And all the way around, 180 degrees. 3. Finally, number 4 here. Back to your basic position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting here, here, back here, back here. Now in Pai-Sai San, we went a step further. After coming back to ground zero, or your starting position, and you made a shuffle, a short shuffle, not a jump, not a leap. Blocking away, the arms are hitting the person in the lower rib cage. You'll find that some of the black belts will do many variations to these katas, especially this one. But to start the student out on the right path is what we're talking about here. I want to mention that again, though, on the black belts and high-ranking people doing these katas different. That way, if you should see one of them doing this kata, or a modification to it, and you just learn it. So if we're doing it wrong, we must do this, we must do not. You may be doing it right. Remember, black belts will interpret these katas and expand out of them and do different things, especially in tournaments or at demonstrations. They can get very creative with these katas. You can take this kata, for example, and link it from so to number 3, which is san, to ni. And I come out here to my students and I say, do Pai-Sai Sho Ni San, or Pai-Sai San Ni Sho, which is just backwards, or Pai-Sai Ni Sho San, giving the numbers in different sequences. And at any moment, I may give them a command, Ni, or San, indicating to them I want them to switch into the next kata if they know all 3 of them. Keeping them ever guessing which way they're going to go, combinating these katas back and forth. Also, it should be remembered to stress, katas are not the form that you're going to fight in. You don't have a kata like a disc in a CD or something like that, or a program. We say, oh, I'm going to be in this kind of fight, I need this kata. No, you need techniques out of the katas. You need these drills to learn, just like in typing or playing music. That's essential that you start at the basics and learn good habits. Good habits of how to work the technique, how to apply the techniques, and survive. So he came out here, did a blocking action. Sometimes the blocking action might be no more than looking like this, coming very close together. But in the case of the kata, you'll go here to the lower rib cage, we'll say to the chin, or the facial area, solar plex, lower stomach area, and back to the face, chin area. Now I stress that because we teach these katas 2 different ways. We teach them in a sporting version or a reduced version for children. But in the upper classes, mind you, as you come back to your vital areas, your vital techniques of survival, you can apply these techniques differently. But do not let your children practice these and take them to school someplace and harm someone else. When they're mentally ready to attain that type of knowledge, it's given to them. We don't want to see anyone get hurt with bad techniques because they're too young to understand the implications thereof. So again, let me stress to you, from basic, 1, 2, 3. Each of these katas will have that. And going back, 1, 2, 3, being at ground zero. 1, 2, 3, 4, back. The only exception being in the last of the series of this kata, you come forward with a slight movement to block. In other words, your assailant hadn't quite got to you. and you want to get in there, break away from him or block him, and then you want to hit him. Set him up for movements to come. Pai-sai, Sho, Pai-sai Ni, and Pai-sai San are not very pretty katas. They weren't meant to be. These are not the katas that's going to win you any trophies at a karate demonstration. And that's the way they're meant to be. These are combat-orientated, survival-type katas used to set up good timing, good technique, to get you where you're starting to think about your balance, like a cat, where you got your feet moving equally in all directions. Then with good techniques, good training skills, we'll work our way out of this kata into the next series. Combinations of kicking, punching, and blocking, and a couple of other techniques that can take you into grappling stages at a later point of your training. You'll see now that as the girls go through their katas, sometimes kata, Pai-sai Sho, hey, hey. Hey, 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 finish. Hey. 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 High side show. Hey. 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 I'll now have the girls go through this kata, and I'll be talking my way through it as they go through it. Slowly, girls, out, high side, show. Hey. Hey. Okay, in this case here, we get our feet corrected. Bring them in a little bit. Hands about 3 or 4 inches out to the front. They'll do a block down now with a small clearing. Hey! You notice how she came down the arm, ripping something off. Knuckles out in this area here. Not like this, but like this. For wrapping. And for trapping later. Debbie, look straight ahead. Okay. In this case here, we want to get the leg parallel at this point. Now they'll do 3 punches as they move forward. Hey! 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 And they turn and block down. At this time here, they need to look at their feet and line them up to be sure that they have good posture. As we mentioned earlier, we want to keep this one leg upright, fairly close together. At this point, they can move off either leg. Now they'll do 3 blocks up. Hey! 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 Now they'll come back this angle toward me. Hey! Blocking down. The next angle will be in this area. Hey! Slightly move the foot, blocking with the foot and the arm at the same time. Hey! Now she'll do 180 directly behind you. Hey! Blocking down. She'll be blocking down. Hey! 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 Now we'll do this kata from different directions. I am coming directly at you. In a moment, I will do it in reverse, coming the opposite way. This hand should hit you right in the solar plexus if it came back. Not high and not rigid, slightly bent. 3 punches. 2, 3. Now I will return 180 degrees, moving to my back. As I'm doing so, I'm catching my arm in this manner here and bringing it down. Then I will do 3 up blocks. 1, 2, 3. And I will bring the foot around, slightly blocking, down. I'll go this opposite way now. With a soft block, an up block. Doing 180. Soft block, up block, cross block. Bringing the foot back, finishing. Just an outside soft block. The up block is just bring it up parallel. Not too high, not too low. Parallel. Punching with both hands. Bringing it back here, slight bend. Legs in a position where if you brought those feet back, it would be like this. When I turn around, watch my feet here come out opposite but in the same position. I'll turn backwards now. Balancing on either foot. You can drift this way, you can drift this way, you can move forward, move backwards, jump. You have full range of motion with both feet. At any given moment. Now I'll do this kata in reverse the opposite way. Now I'll do the kata at an angle. So you'll see me going across this line and coming back. Kata Pai Sai Sho. I'll have the girls demonstrate it one more time. Kata Pai Sai Sho. Hey! 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 Hey, 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 finish. The second kata, called Pai Sai Ni, it'll have a series of block, counter blocks, and kicks. Kata, Pai Sai Ni. Hey. 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 Hey, 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 hey. We're doing blocks. One. These will all be explained to you later, but they're breakaways. They're setting up very close type combat related fighting. Kata, Pai Sai Ni, hey, hey. Turning to our left, block, kick, hey. Turning to our right, underneath, block, kick. Turning back to the front, stepping out, smart, position block of the lower limb, break your weight here, down, bring it back up to the second block, cutting back under to the third block, kicking, block, kicking, block, kicking, turning and blocking down, bring it back up, so soft block, coming under, up, and kicking. Locking, kicking. Locking, kicking. Turning with a scissors or a cross block down, foot out, rotating in, locking, clearing with the second block, kicking. Cross block or scissors block down, bringing the left foot around, circling, blocking, blocking with the second block, and kicking. I'll now have Joan put the camera on me, and I'll go through this the same way as I did the other one, coming at you and away from you so you can see this angle. This angle. I'll mention this too about these first three katas. These are the very basic katas. But from them, all other techniques and katas emerge. And later, when you get into the very advanced stages, when you are coming out of these katas and going into very fast-moving katas and situations, you'll find the basic that you learned right here in these katas. What's going to keep you alive, what's going to help you survive. You're going to form good habits by keeping your hands closed, your feet closed, and usable. This is going to equate to speed of technique and ability. Especially critical when you're up against weapons such as knives. Kata Paisani. Turning to the left. Short snap kick. Bring the leg up. And kick. Locking down. This leg short circle, which is a block. Locking down, locking up, clearing the block, kicking. Locking, kicking. Turning back 180 degrees. Locking down, locking up with a clearing block, and kicking. Locking, kicking. Locking, kicking. Locking down, locking cross with a soft block, clearing with a block, and kicking. Turning 180, scissors or cross block, circular low block, blocking, clearing block, kicking, coming back to the front with another scissors cross block, in. Very short kata. We will explain all these blocks as we go along. They're the same blocks you had in your basic exercise tape. And these will be the same blocks you use in almost all of your katas. I'll do now in the opposite direction. do now, off this tee, so you can see it. That way you have a reference point to help you as you're learning this kata. Almost in the same place we started. Paisai, Sho, Paisai, Ni. We will now go into Paisai. We'll have a few things different. This will be the first kata that throws all the combinations together. It'll be also the first kata in the Matsumura Seito system that I teach that has a ki in it, where you're actually doing a scream or a yell, which is also technique. It's also part of strategy, depending how you use it. We go through this kata slowly, you'll see some changes compared to the other two katas. It's more of a combination kata. Kata, Paisai-san. Punch. Kick. Block. Punch. Block. Locking down. Locking up. Locking up. Locking up. Crossing. Small curl. Down. Short block. 1, 2, 3, with a kick. Dropping the foot, turning 180 degrees to the crossover type block. This is the same block. 1, 2, 3, kick. Locking down. Stepping in with a slight step. Clearing. Cage. Solar flex, lower stomach or gonads, back to the throat. 4 punches. And I'll go through it a little faster now. Kata Paisai-san. Kata Paisai-san. out towards me like this and reach at me, like going to grab me by the throat. And I don't want to wait for her, or say, I'm too far away from her to hit her. So as I see her coming at me, I throw the arms this way. As I stutter step in, or skip in, I run these hands right in here. Now immediately what I'm going to do, is she's right there, hands out again, spread them, hollow. This hand here comes straight up into this area here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there are other techniques that can be applied, we'll talk about later, out of it. But for the basic kata, is spread the hands as you come in the ki. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other techniques can lead into the same fighting scenario. Remember, katas are not meant to fight out. They're to train you in technique. Some people need them more than others. Some people need them less than others. They're to build good techniques, just like in typing or any other thing you might want to do. So when you do arrive at advanced stages later, you'll have these good qualities. I'll mention this also about kata. I go to many karate schools, and I hear them say, these are basics, and later you will learn advanced. You can go back to the same dojo 5 years later. They're doing exactly the same katas, the same way, but doing them better. And they call that advanced. What they're doing is a better basic kata. And a better basic kata does not take you into the realm of real fighting. At some point you must escape the kata, be creative, and learn to fight in your real form. But this tape is about kata and basics. So we're going to stay in that realm. And later, we will demonstrate how to emerge out of them in a correct manner. Okay, this is that five-side show. A couple things on the camera. Of course, she's brand new at this, so we talked to the camera a bit on this here. He comes out of the Kobachi system of karate. It's another branch of Matsumura Seito, so he's learning these katas to adapt them a little differently. Of course, the white belt over here is just now learning the kata for the first time. We haven't taken the kata before. Yeah, we're quite a bit you take it for. Taekwondo. Yeah. You can see a little bit in the stances. He wants to go a little wider than average people. Anyway, you see this footer and the kata back there, you want to back up and wants to keep the toe up a little bit. A lot of people, when they first started these type of kata, have a problem. I noticed in their case you're bringing the arm out and more extension, which is okay later. Because I mentioned in this tape of training, our kata are designed to work your way out of the kata. So when you see this, or you see this, all combined from this. And same token, when you see this block here, take it from the standpoint of different angles like that. And so go back through it again one more time. We're visiting Joe Spurlock's dojo up in Highland, Arkansas, the Dragon Fist dojo. Again, you'll notice the stances fairly close together. Nathan is demonstrating a wider stance and shorter kicks. Kick off the front leg, Nathan. He has two moves: withdraw, retreat, recover, and wasting time and motion in a fast-moving situation. Okay, demonstrate legs together now. Okay. Even in the sport kicking for high, he's got both legs. Yeah, go ahead. Side knee. Laura demonstrated some of the kicks. turn around and face the camera. I want to go over a few more fine points with you on doing katas. We'll now mainly work on pai-sai sho and pai-sai ni. Coming back to our blackboard, a few of the things you're going to be noticing, or we'll be correcting you on. One, let's take the hand techniques. Just look here at my hand. So the biggest problem we have, we'll be adjusting, making correction to, it'll be this area through here. You'll see people out here like this, like this, like this, like this, the fingers, or like this. Straight, focusing off this knuckle and this knuckle. These are your punching areas with your thumb in this manner here. Now this is the way we conduct a fist. When students first take karate, most of them will do like this. Not a major thing, but eventually we'll be bringing you back up into here in this to get the technique. The other thing is, the arm will not be high like this. It'll be down where it'll come into the solar plex. Slightly bent, a slight bend to it. So if you bring that arm back to adjust your arms, solar plex. So when you do your front punches, that's one way you can gauge as you're walking along. The other thing, again, look here at this angle. So we have the arm coming out, fist up like this. We'll be trying to get you to modify that. Get her straight. You'll see other people do this. Actually, they come in underneath. They want to hit just like this. Trouble is, if you hit and roll on this, you'll have spraining this. Remember, in karate, we're going to teach you not only how to inflict pain, but not to inflict pain and hurt yourself. A major thing. What we want to see into the area where you'll be striking. The other thing will be down in your walking exercises, which will demonstrate with the girls in a few moments. But as we come into walking exercises, many times what we have at this kneecap being a straight angle. Very difficult to kick. You lose a little bit of speed off this one. What we're going to have you do is be more like a boxer. And that leg will be like this. So what we want to see in the legs is this one here like so. But a slight bend, not much, a slight bend in this area here. The other leg coming out like this. Like so. We'll demonstrate these techniques off this and why. And here, the distance can be various lengths. You're talking about anywhere from, depending on the size foot you have, you can have a couple feet, a foot and a half, something like that. The main thing is, judging this distance, is don't get it so wide that you're going to have difficulty kicking off this foot. As we demonstrated earlier when Nathan put his leg out there and said to kick off the front leg, couldn't do it. He has to retract it if you get it out too far. So if you're in this position like this, with a wide stance, then what happens, he can kick off this foot or he can retract. He's got to pull back in order to kick. It's going to be very difficult for him to pick this foot up and kick to any degree of accuracy or with any power. So again, we're talking about developing a sense of speed, parts of seconds, in these katas. We're going to form the good habits right now. By doing that into these katas, the first three katas, later you're going to find that this is what you're going to need to get the accuracy and speed you need to defend yourself. Good habits that are built from these very first katas. Here we have a green belt, Marion Weeks, and Debbie Henry, a white belt, going to do the first kata. Go ahead, girls.
Kata, pai-sai sho. Hey. 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 Hey.
Well, we see a little bit of difficulty there.
Yep, I see what.
It's all right. What happens here, again, this is, you want to build confidence, and everyone can't do katas. We want to mention it. Some people have more difficulty than others. Again, we go back to this is no more than a drill. It's nothing to, here in this case here, in our style, we don't worry so much about, we're not going into competition with this. We're just learning movements. I'm going to put a little music on it, you watch how much better she does with music. But before we do that, I want to show you something here. Now, first off, she took off, when she first stood off, you done this here. You stood like this, instead of coming into the position. Okay, like that. I want to show people this type here. Turn to the side a little bit this way. Okay, now put your leg right out here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Now put the leg back here. This is what we're talking about on the leg movement here. Like this. We want the leg back up here where this is going to be in this position here. It's going to be in a vertical type position. This one here is just about right. See here the foot moves? She's got about probably a little over a foot between here and here. If she brings this foot back, it'll come right almost to the other heel here. Okay? Big difference here. Now, we have Marion do the same thing here, Marion. Off this leg here. Come back here like this. And I want you to kick off that leg. I want to come and get closer to that. Okay, now Marion has her leg bent the way it should be. Now, Marion, go ahead and straighten it out the opposite way. Now kick with it. You see the difficulty she'll be having off that? So anytime someone has their leg bent in this position, we want to bring it back up to that. Now kick off of it. Now, she can move off either foot now. Marion, move off either foot. Okay. She can move sideways, front ways, or other ways. Now go back and put the leg in the wrong position again. Now, Marion, stand on the back foot. Now, go back like you were. Now stand on the front foot. See, she has to make an adjustment. There's parts of seconds lost when that happens. Parts of seconds. Okay. Now, the kata should be used as a training mechanism to build confidence, not to destroy confidence. That's the whole point. Build confidence, don't destroy confidence by taking a new student who's just learning something like this and putting them down. This is not the drill sergeant type mentality we're coming up with. We'll say, don't you know how to do your kata? Huh? What's wrong with you? Huh? Ain't you ever do nothing right? Are you just naturally born dumb? Do you want to be in this dojo? Are you going to learn your kata? No. This would make you go crazy, wouldn't it, if you had someone doing that to you? Yeah. Later on, we do techniques like this to holler at the women, scream at them a little bit, stuff like that, as part of their training in self-defense. So they're getting used of what an aggressor would be like. But this is not the time or place for it at this stage. You've got some people who have natural ability. They come in with, say, gymnastic skills, cheerleader skills, or other type skills, and they can get on these katas and do them. In this case here, we're talking to two women here that are a little older. They've already been mothers. They're working women. Marion's a nurse, registered nurse at a hospital down in Batesville, Arkansas. Debbie is a mother. I won't tell them your age, but she's not 20. Anyway, but they've been out of high school for a few years, and so it takes a little time to get back into these katas, or get into the katas. Okay, I'm going to walk them through it very slowly now, one pace at a time. What I want you to do, Marion, let's do it differently. I want Marion to take you to the kata. You can correct her moves and have her move one at a time. Stand to that side of the over there.
High check. That was the eye back. Hi.
Now you hear her counting, and that's okay. Some people need to count these off when they're first learning the kata. This is kata, Paisai Sho, the first kata. Now I hear people say they don't want to train women, and they say because it's hard to train some of them. And though that might be correct, that's also an easy way out. It should be a challenge to look for different ways for an instructor to train different women at different levels and children. Everyone doesn't have to be a champion. They're trying to learn self-defense. Building their confidence is very important in the process of doing this. It may take longer for Debbie, for example, to learn this kata. Just don't go by a time frame. Just don't put people down for it. Just look at just moving forward, one step at a time. We're going to demonstrate a couple more things to you. Again, it's going to be, these things here are going to be prevalent in all three of these katas. I'm going to have Marion demonstrate this kata one more time in a few minutes, then we'll go on to Paisai Ni again, and then we're going to get into Paisai San. You see us coming down in this manner here, crossing the hand. A lot of times you'll hear this called a cross block or a scissors block. In the White Swan Dojo, we don't refer to it as a block. Basically, it's a guide to us, a way to line the opponent up. For example, if she has a knife coming down at me, or a weapon, we'll just say a club, like this, and she's swinging it down my head, this is not what I'm wanting to do. That's going to hurt. If it's a baseball bat, it's really going to hurt. If I take one hand, it's going to be basically this. If I take the other hand, it's going to be basically that. So, in a sense, you could call it a block, not a block. But what we're going to do in a fast-moving situation is use this as a guide over at a later move. It's to set up a scenario so we can bypass all these type things in order to get to our person or our weapon. We'll do the same thing. We'll demonstrate this a little later with kicks coming around at you. If this was a kick coming at me here, or even a weapon coming around this way at me like this, I would do it like this, utilizing the breakaway type technique. I'm going to use a baseball bat right now on this back here. We'll use this in place of the baseball bat. Show what I mean on this is if I wanted to say she was swinging laterally at me coming around this way here, and I might want to take this as a guide, but see what's going to happen to me if I stay static. In a static state, it's going to come through me. But I'm going to set this up as a type move to take it away from it and also strip it. Same way, if it's coming down here, ouch! E-tie, big time, that's going to hurt. So all we're going to do is reach out coming down into like that. It's going slowly now, and like that, hopping her to either side, like that. Coming into the person. Even in a fast situation where she's really coming down on you, it bears nothing as far as being dangerous. As long as you don't stay static like this, when you come down a little harder now. That's going to be the E-tie, a little harder. Pop it right in there. And since a bat, baseball bat, don't have the padding, I'm going to get hurt. Now she's got to come at the same rate, a little faster. You see, it really makes no difference. Okay. Come right there. She's trying to miss me on purpose because she don't want to hit me. There. Now, so it's something new for her to be doing this. We normally do it with the guys, she's just getting into this level of training herself. But again, slowly what you're going to see is I'm going to dive for that and pop her, take it away from her. I'm going to do the opposite thing the opposite way. Create openings. I am not going to wait for that bat to get me. I am going to go after the bat. I am not only going to meet it, I'm going to engage the bat. As I see it coming, instead of waiting to catch it here, come in slowly, man. I'm going to do everything based on her hitting me. No. When I see her cock, her power base there, I'm going to be moving. So this time, when it comes back, take it, come back. You're going to see me being in quick. You've got to move in on it. Now, we're going to head back to our kata. The other movement you're seeing here is off the legs. Here, you're seeing them as they move, little circling motions. This is teaching this new student, as they make moves, to do these little circling motions in case there's a kick coming. This is a leg block. This is the first part of the leg blocking technique. So if I'm here and I'm turning towards her, she might be throwing a kick at me now. I'm not going to swing wide, but I'm not going to do this either. I'm not going to go, and there I stand. Now this time she's going to kick. Here I'm going to turn her. Ha! Whoops! Don't want that to happen. I'll get over here where you can see me a little better. Here I am. I'm turning to fight her. Family jewels just got hung out. Right. So we don't want that. In this case here, that little turn, I'm here. I also, as I make that little twirl, it gives me the capability to come back with a snap kick back at her. And I can range that snap kick. It also gives me the chance right here, I can meet her like this. So we're talking about utilizing feet as blocking actions later on. They're not doing a lot of blocking yet. They're just learning the basic kata, especially the new students now. Okay? I want you to go ahead, Mary, and do this kata one more time for me.
Kata, as I show.
Now, Marion will go into Paisai Ni. Paisai Ni for us.
Kata, Paisai Ni.
This is your second kata. This is the one that will have blocks and kicks. Coming out with our first three steps now. And back three. And then exactly the same move, but kicking and blocking again. Okay, now we'll show you one other thing here on the turnaround. Mary, face this direction here, and just like you would position like this, right on this line. Yeah, face right towards that back. Go ahead and put your leg out in position. Now, what I want you to do is 180 turn to the opposite way. I want you to watch your feet there. Hanshi. Realign yourself. Just get that leg back out like that. All she has to do on her balls of her heels is come around. She's here like that. It's just pivot. Back and forth. Very easy move. Go ahead and do it. Doesn't require a lot of imbalancing. Now, she takes this foot here, take it straight back. No, take the other foot, right to the other foot. Right there. It's going to be just about like this right here. She's here, root it back. That's one way to gauge yourself. Another way to gauge yourself, put the leg back out there. If you feel like you're getting too wide a stance or not getting the stance properly, Marion, put your leg way out there now. Now she feels maybe she's too wide. One way to do this, if you're not sure, is just jump in the air like this. Yeah, just jump in the air like that, like a boxer would. Just jump in the air and get a comfortable stance. Some people will be a little narrow, some are. There's a variational factor here. Main thing is you want both those legs. You can move this one, you can move either side. You can dance either way. Your legs are all versatile in this kata. That's what we're trying to set up. You can kick sideways, you can kick this way, kick this way. You can do many things. Bring the range up if you have to. You can squat if you have to. You can maneuver if you have to. You can, all this movement of legs. You're like a cat, balancing yourself. Now, turn again, Mary, to the rear. High side E, one more time.
Kata, High knee.
Low kicks to the shin area and kneecaps. Turning around, 180, going back 3 steps. Now she'll come into this cross we talked about a while ago. To the second corner, 180 back to that corner, and now back to the other corner. All 4 corners back to the front. Pai Sai Ni. Be doing Pai Sai San.
Pai Sai San.
Coming out 3 and going back 3.
Yeah!
Kiai coming into the movement. Okay, Marion, come back into the first portion of kata again. Stop. You notice here now she is kicking, punching, and blocking while moving ahead. Turning down. Now she's blocking up, up, up. Now, Marion, stop. I want you to turn 180 and block up, coming towards the camera now. Come towards me and block up. Stop. At this point here, I want to show you something, what we do on our blocks. Our blocks are going to keep at 100, I say about level with the ground here and here. Reason being, we're going to demonstrate this again. Marion, go ahead and get this little weapon, our toy we'll call it. And here's the reason why again. A while ago when you seen me going up to here, and I'm telling you how it's going to hurt, well, think about her coming down with this baseball bat or crowbar, and I do this. Go ahead. Hi-ya! Oh, gosh, that feels good. That would hurt. And I know a guy did that. Putting the leg back, getting in this position here, in a fight, and you step back and say, ain't going to work. It's going to put you down. This here will. She comes swinging it hard, and it will go on past you. Yes, you may get a little E-tie there. That's if you stand stationary, especially like I'm doing right now, and like a robot. She's coming at me, and I'm going to make her go on down past me. I'm not going to catch it like I'm going to do on this one, or this. Putting it here makes it become this way. Now, if I'm moving at the same time as this hits me, and I'm coming around, I'm going to feel it even less. So not becoming a static or stationary target is part of the technique also. But what we want is this right here. Level, not too high. Another reason is this. Even though in our system, when you see this, you see this, you see that, they're all in there. If Mary's going to hit me like this, say, especially if she's punching, let's just go to the punching deal. Say, I take this, she's punching me here and I do this. Now she hits me there. Boy, I'm in trouble. Now I just wrote a man today talking about vital areas, and he was asking me some questions about the different vital points. And one of the things I pointed out to him about some of these areas, like down here along the ribs, yeah, you take a person gets hit right here, gets hit hard enough, you could cause death. Either side. You got a lot of vital organs up underneath these ribs back in there. However, my point to him was this. You take a heavyweight boxer, hitting a lightweight boxer in this area, he's going to do a lot of damage. Especially if he got no gloves on. Say a big man to a little man. But you take a little man or a woman hitting a big man in this area like that, and you're not going to get that kind of reaction. It's going to take a lot more force. So when we talk about that being a vital area, I don't call it a primary vital area because a lot of little people and women can't use it. It's an area where you can get a little E-tie, but as far as a woman hitting a man here who's been any kind of condition at all, ain't going to happen like that. So it's an area where you can hit, but not get always the reaction you want out of it. So we'll come back to the vital areas later. But we're talking about these same areas here. A woman hitting a man here wouldn't be necessarily the same thing. But if you got hit by another man here, or got hit by a weapon here, you got a lot of nerve endings down here, very delicate spot to be hit. So we want to keep that arm, we use it like this, say if she throws that punch up, I'm going to hit it there, I'm going to drop it back down. I'm going to get it back down, I don't want to leave this thing out there. So it's not going to be, again, the same thing. If she throws this punch, I'm out here like this, ready to take that. It's not going to happen. Too static, too slow. But at the same time, would I never say you would never be in this position here compared to this? No. The variable factor will be there later too. There may be a time when you have to, you're here and you look at the knife come at you, you may come up here like this, hit the knife, and spin out like that. So you're going to do a variation off that same type move as far as your block goes. Okay, we're going to play it one more time. Observe, she'll come out in the same position.
Cut. High five thumb.
Moving to the front, doing 3 moves forward. Turning 180 degrees and 3 blocks up, going back. Coming with the crossover, block.
Yeah!
Okay. She got part of her kata confused there, but that's okay. That'll happen sometimes. Okay, Marion. Now, we're going to demonstrate something else for you here now. When Marion's coming out with this maneuver, as I grab for her, go ahead. She's going to stop me there, contain me there. She's not going to widespread me way out here. And here's the reason why. Do it this time. Now, push your hand very high. It just comes right back in. The hands can circle back in. You don't need to knock these hands very far. All she needs to do is get them right there where I can't grab her hand. If I'm moving this way now, look where I'm at. Or in this case here in the kata, we're assuming the guy, like the baseball bat a while ago, I said I don't want to wait for me. She don't want to always wait for me to put the hand back up. She don't want to wait for me to make the next move. That's when she does that little slippy step, little skip, and comes in, hit me low now. In the lower rib cage. We're just talking about it may not take me out, but she's going to hit me, try to hit me right in that lower rib cage right there, and it's going to be enough to for a second. And then she's going to shoot this back up to the next area. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the case of kata we talked about earlier for kids, we're talking about chin, solar plex, lower stomach. But in reality now, for women, we're talking about the throat, the solar plex, the lower stomach, or the gonads. Now I'm going to show you a couple of the variable factors here that you'll need to know. When you're doing this kata, when you're thinking about some of the modifications, I want you to see the hidden stuff that's in there. For example, as Marion, we're going to make her the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Okay. Okay. I'm in black, she's in white, and she's the bad guy. Oh, good actress. Okay, here we go. Anyway, she's going to, reach out at me now, like that. Go ahead. Now, see there? Uh-oh. No. Unless that person is really super weak, you're not going to come out of it at this point. If they hang on to you and a man got a hold of a woman and they try that, you'll be doing that. You weren't going to get nowhere. You're going to take another technique if that happens. If that person got you, this is no longer going to be working. This is. Are you ready? I like Jerry when I do this. Yeah. Okay. But see, come up here like that. Take the hands just like that. Curl. Break it down. Don't let it go. Drive them right down to the ground if you have to. That's just one technique. And look at her face came to me. Her eyes. Yeah, she's got glasses on. Pop them. Shove them in her. The one thing I want you to look at is this nose here. The bone that goes up into the brain, it ain't there. That ain't going to happen. There's no bone in there that's going to go in there, but it's still a vital area. Why? That's one of the few areas you can hit any way you want. Slap it, pop it, hit it with the fist with little force, and you'll get an instant action out of the person. Most people are not professional boxers and haven't had their noses broken. So this becomes very delicate, doesn't it? Was that her? Yeah. I can pop it with your finger like that. But that nose, a woman can just slap a man. I don't care. When I tell my ladies, I don't care how. She puts her hand, this is her nose now. I said, I don't care. It don't have to be. He says, do it. Just like this. So. Slap it. It don't make any difference. Get that nose. back into this part where it's grabbing like that. So if she's reaching for you like that, you hit like this, boom. That's just one element of it. The other factor could be this. You could do this, grab, headbutt. Come in, grab, headbutt, knee, toe. Like I always mention to people, we're not teaching the pressure point today, but you take a sumo wrestler, a weightlifter, a woman, a small man, I don't care who. Get them all in this same ingrown toenail, you get the same problem. The same thing. Go over and step on one of their toes, you get the same reaction. Sumo wrestler, a weightlifter, a woman, a small man, I don't care who. Get them all in this same ingrown toenail, you get the same problem. The same thing. Go over and step on one of their toes, you get the same reaction. That's a pressure point, believe me. You go toe. We come back to this here. Again, she's reaching, not out. Slap it in. Pop it in, grab it. Okay. That is for if you want to engage. But what happens if you don't want to engage? This comes out like this, pop here, slam this way. Watch that movement there. She grabs it. Slam. Walk. You can push the person off. There's a lot of things you can do from it. One thing I do want to mention, do not get in the habit of doing this. She comes stepping back, hitting the foot in a kicking position. Don't waste time. If you're going to kick this person, you know, kick them from where you're at right there. You know, kick them right where you're at. Pop. Remember what I did to Nathan earlier? Mary wants to be done that way too. Kick them, pop. Yeah, see, they like that. If you get them right here in front of the leg like that, they reach for you. Whoa. She's coming at me, her legs in a weakened position. She stepped towards me, and I don't have to jump her, just pop her in the leg. I can do that because I've got both legs functional. But I can't do it if I watch her and she jumps at me and I go, ho! In one of these back type positions with the wide stances like that. Direct contact to your opponent. Cross blocks, even, both feet well balanced. And what you're going to eventually do out of these katas, you're going to find yourself engaged in something like this. Here's your basic stance. Moving at you like this. Here's your basic block. Now watch this. You can hook, you can elbow, you can punch straight, you can hook low, you can zone here, punch, zone here, punch, you can kick, zone out, kick, you can stand here, twirl, straight back kick, you can stand here, twirl, straight back kick. You do all these movements because you're standing here ready to go off either foot. You can retreat, but if you retreat, not one-legged, both feet, both of them. Be versatile, this side and this side. Be left-handed, be right-handed. Be comfortable with both. Now your basic stances, you'll always be back to this. Hands closed, feet closed, tight, ready to do combat up close. Never at long range. Get into a fighting position, like a sport fighting. Here we are in a sport fighting position. It's going to be, here we are. Whoops. Oh. Okay, long range, playing games. We're coming to short range. Now we're in this range. She punches. See? Elbows. Oops. Oh, oops. Short. This is more close range, medium range. Then we come to the close combat range. Here's what I've done here. We talked about earlier. We will trap out of these moves. Here's your block. One. Here's a half trap. Hand comes over. She now wants to move that hand. See what happens? If she pulls that hand backwards, she gives me, boom. I feel the movement of that hand. I feel the resistance. If I grab it, go ahead, Mary. That's what's going to happen to me. Even if I try to follow it, go ahead. That's what's going to happen to me. I'm going to get hit. If I come into a half trap, slightly to Swan. We go through one of the pictures you'll see, in some of the magazines later you'll see, we have a master soaking. He's like this. You would think John Sullivan, the old-time fighters, coming out. But that's not what he's going to do. Remember, this is karate. He's like this. Marion's going to punch at me. Just let you go with this hand this time. She's going to punch at my chin. And what you're going to see is this. Slowly, he's going to come in here, trap back, and come back to the Adam's apple. He's going to come trap over. Or he's going to trap like half trap. At that time there, if she moves that arm back, he just moves right along with it. And takes her right on down for breaking. We get into trapping later on, but a half trap is just to set up another move. A full trap would be this. Just for edification information right now. We'll come back to these later. Yes. I contain her. I went ahead and put my hand here. Now I put her here in order to take her down. We'll come back to these full traps later, what they're for. But half trapping is part of the game also. Okay? One more time for this kata, Mary.
Kata. Kata.
Do a little special here for you. I'll do it with different type of bows. In the Japanese Okinawan style, they have what they call nitan bow, which is short sticks, short bow. They can be a little longer than this, or they can be this size. They're basically both bows. A kata that you can use with these weapons is called nitan bow. Right. Right. Hey. 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 Hey! 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 Nitan bow. I'll do it a little slower now and try to explain the moves as I go along. Basically, you're blocking, or hitting. Hitting or blocking. A block can be a hit, a strike, and vice versa. All depending on what's happening. You'd be blocking down just like you would be if you were fighting. Down low, jabbing, striking. When I do the one point where I do the turnaround, basically all I'm doing here, I'll let you watch the footwork, is this. I've come down here, stepped out, and hit with a strike. Put my foot back here, bow. Looking at your enemy, stepping out, crossing, legs bent. I'm going to do this from the angle. Legs bent, cat stance, cat stance, locking down, locking up, hand in the ready position, just as if I was going to go a right cross at you. That's what I'm doing now. To move in. Whew. I'm doing it with this. Wait. Real. Now I'm taking the right foot and moving it right back here. So I'm going to go that way. Kind of a tricky move for some people. Blocking down, blocking up, either blocking or striking. Doing a turn to 180, blocking down, declaring, blocking up, either blocking or striking. Turning back to where I came from. Blocking down, blocking up, striking or blocking, striking with the eye. Bring this foot back around, crossing them, clearing, clearing, clearing. As I clear this last one here, I'll come back into a cat stance with a good balance on both feet. Shove this in a striking manner, this being our blocker. Hi-ya! Blocking, striking. Hi-ya! Coming back to the front and closing. Itanbo. I'm going to do this one time now with just my hand, which will help you get the pattern down. Same pattern. Nitanbo. One more time. Nitanbo. Nitanbo. Stepping out, crossing the buttons. Bringing the legs back in with a slight squat, bending the knees. Turning to the left, basically a cat-like position, cat stance. Blocking here, blocking here. Taking one step to the left. Turning 180 degrees to the rear. Stepping to the double block. Blocking down, blocking up, striking or blocking. Striking or blocking. striking or blocking. Taking the right leg, moving it in behind me, turning in this direction. First blocking down, blocking up, stepping in with a block or a strike. Turning to my right, 180 degrees. Blocking down, blocking up, stepping in with either a strike or a block. Turning back to where I came from, blocking down, blocking up, stepping in with a block or a strike. Coming back with this foot behind me, turning to my left, striking, kiai. Coming back to the front, legs, arms, my legs down here. I've changed this into this as I came around. And then I do a clearing action with a 1, 2, 3. Turning to my left, blocking, stepping in with a jab and a block. Hi-ya! Turning back. Hi-ya! In the kata, I come back, across, down.
The 5 steps of instructional segment number